Yo, 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 what's going on, man? And welcome to another episode of my DJ's Radio Spotlight. The spotlight is definitely on a special guest tonight, man. Somebody who's been grinding for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself. I'm your host, Shot Bully. Thank you for tuning in, man. My DJ's Radio. What's going on, man? Let him know who you are, bro.
So I'm Jay Richy,
For sure.
from Compton, California. Out here doing my thing in San Marcos.
That's what's up.
And ain't nobody out here trying to see me. Ain't nobody out here trying to eat.
Oh, there you go.
I eat, but not even like that. But yeah, check me out.
It's okay. Got a cocky one in the building today. That's what's up, man. You need that, though, man. You need that confidence, man, because it's a dog-eat-dog world in the hip-hop game. You already know. So, let's dive into the music a little bit, and the man behind the music. First off, you mentioned you was from Compton. Let us know a little bit about your background as far as growing up in Compton, and when was the first time you actually fell in love with rap and hip hop and figured out it was something that you want to do?
To say when I actually fell in love with music would be when I was younger and growing up. I'm from Nevada, Vegas. So that's where I'm from. And every day, my pops bumping Biggie, his oldies and everything like that. So that really was like the start, just being exposed to music at a young age, listening to it. And then as time progressed and as I got older, I came out to California, and the scenario with that wasn't as pretty. Me and my siblings were placed in the foster care system, so we left Nevada, came all the way out here to California, and from there, the only way I was able to remember events that happened or the time era, because being so young, I was 5 when all this happened. Being so young, just not being able to have like a stable, structured, or a regular way of remembering or being able to communicate with people. For me, it was only through music. So, so I guess it was just a blessing, I guess, because my grandpa did music as well. So being exposed to it and then having that to guide myself was pretty much like what grasped me all the way into being in love with music.
That's what's up, man. That's that's definitely it stems me to my next question, man, because not expecting that response. That's actually a very unique story, especially compared to some of the other artists I have on the show. So let's talk about growing up in that type of environment. As far as being in the foster home, did those type of the nights and the hardships that you went through, does that shine through your music? I mean, do you use that as a tool to help you write songs and come up with your creativity?
Yeah, so with that scenario, it took me up until senior year of high school to accept being in foster care, not being embarrassed, because growing up it's just like, oh man, you think like, oh, my parents didn't want me, or
Right.
whatever the reason may be, if you see what caused you to be in that type of situation. But growing up, I just never really liked to speak about it because I just didn't feel comfortable with it. And as senior year came about, I just was like, I have a huge influence on people, so I'm gonna grasp what I came from and people see where I'm going and use that as a stepping stone, use that as something that motivates people. And it motivated me a lot on my mixtape that I just put out, the Rebirth. That's the reason why it's called Rebirth, because I stopped my music career for a year, and then I haven't touched it for 2 years. No output of music, anything. I escaped, my music life, because I felt that I could have been using my story as a motivation to push me and keep me in touch with my music, to be able and reach out and deliver it in different forms than just as one form as many artists do now. Everybody sounds the same. So me being able to have something, I can, put it out. I can put that out as well as put out stuff that people are used to hearing, you know, the regular stuff that you feed to the listeners. But
that's what's up, man. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a good good insight, coming from somebody who's been in that situation, like I can't even say I relate, and being able to overcome growing up in that type of environment and still being able to push it through. That's definitely a good thing, man. And I'm glad that you are using that as a tool. You know what I'm saying, to help you with the music, because I tell everybody all the time that social commentary is the biggest thing that's been lacking in today's hip hop, and that's storytelling. That's what I mean, the intangible things, that we forget about. Everybody's all about the thoughts and the grinding and the twerking and the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's a lot of intangible things out there and a lot of social commentary that's not, being portrayed in music, and our young generation is feeding into that, and they're not understanding how important it is, you know what I mean? So, that's super dope. And now as far as, let's get into, the beginning stages of your artistry. Was it always Jay Richy, or did you go through a couple names? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did the whole, brand, obviously it's a play on your name, your actual government name.
Yeah.
But was there ever any type of other names that you used previous to that? Or, did you go through some type of, some growths that you had to just change? Because, I wasn't even always, the name I am, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it just happens the way it happens, so.
For me, when I first started, it really, like, I didn't follow, like, what most artists follow, I'm gonna assume. Like, it just came about one day. I was like, I want to start making music. Mm-hmm. So I literally just jumped into it. Mm-hmm. Like, no guidance, nothing. Just literally jumped into it. And that's one of the reasons why I stopped my career, because it was just
all over the place.
Yeah, it was like I was doing something, making progress, but I wasn't making no type of progress. Like, I was not on the stage I should have been on when I was doing all of that. So I jumped right into it, and then I thought of a name. Couldn't come up with a name. Just like, I don't know. Like, it's hard. Like, I thought it was gonna be easy, but I was like, it's hard. So I can't come up with a name. So when I first started, I didn't even have a name. Like,
that's crazy.
Just left it with no name, and then I was like, I might as well just abbreviate my name. That just sounds like the easiest thing to do. Mm-hmm. And, it's very common. Most rappers have some type of relevance with their name and their stage name. Right. So I was like, I'll just do that. And it's like kind of catchy. Like, most people don't, they be like, where did that come from? Then I'll be like, my name is James Richardson,
Right,
so,
exactly.
It's nothing, not too big of a change, but yeah, so.
That's what's up.
That's how it came about. That name thing is no joke.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I definitely... obviously, because I'm the interviewer, I know the background. So, but if I was let's say if I was just an organic fan listening, into the My DJ's Radio Spotlight, and I seen Jay Richy, and I'm seeing you for the first time, what is something that what is the impression you give? What does your music say to the everyday music fan out there? What are you delivering to the hip hop culture?
So with my latest project, Rebirth, the one I just put out, I grasped my talent completely and maneuvered in every aspect for the sole purpose of so people won't be able to be like, oh, he sounds just like him, or he said this sounds just like that. So I mixed it up. I had my R&B style songs. I have my hip hop style songs, and then I twisted it up, with Dear Christina, and that was a song that was guitar based and everything. So
okay, cool.
I varied and switched it up a lot.
A lot. That's what's up. Yeah, definitely. You provided them with that diversity.
Yeah, so they listen to me, and then they're like, oh, he's an artist. He's
exactly.
He's an artist. He's not just a rapper. He's an artist. I write all my music. Mm-hmm. I have credit for all my music.
That's what's up.
No ghostwriter.
It's crazy because you gotta actually state that nowadays.
No ghostwriter popping up.
Back in the day, that was always assumed. You know what I mean? It's like you're an MC, you write your own music. You know what I mean? But nowadays, especially with the Drakes and other people coming out, it's like, Oh man, like
yeah,
now that's got to be a real question.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
all right, all my music. Ain't no Twitter, ain't nothing gonna be popping talking about. Oh man, Jay Richy ain't paid me for our work. Yeah, for our work that we did. No, there ain't none of that popping on. I write all my own music. That's I have producers here and there, but I'm like the type of artist I like to work with other people. So I grasp some beats from YouTube that people put out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then let them see like their work is as good as my work is on their beat, and then go from there.
That's what's up.
But yeah,
that's definitely what's up. Cool. So before we get into, we want to hear some of the diversity. You know what I mean? So we're gonna play one of your tracks, but before we get into the track, let's talk about some of the people who influenced you. Do you have any music influences as far as hip hop or any genre? Somebody that, or some people or some group that influenced you to kind of, or honed you as an artist.
So I mean, I'm gonna have to start with saying my favorite artist of all time, number one is Tupac.
Okay.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite artist, my favorite poet, my favorite actor, African American actor. My favorite author is it's just Pac. Pac is number one. And then I'm gonna have to say number two in the hip hop category will be Lil Wayne. That's my second favorite artist of all time. Can't go wrong with that. And then as far as influence, I love oldies. I love oldies. So Michael Jackson, he's one of my favorites. So I have some influence from him. We can go back like we can go all the way back. The Supremes, Earth, Wind and Fire.
There we go.
More up to date, I would say J. Cole. I like his music, and every artist from Compton, they all have an influence. There's no way around that, and that's pretty much it. But I listen to I listen to every genre, like every except for Skrillex when they be yelling and stuff.
Oh, right.
I can listen to everything but that. So I love listening to country. I listen to Taylor Swift. I'm not ashamed. Shouts out to Westbrook.
Okay.
So I listen to everything.
That's what's up. Well, definitely keep that in mind because we got a game later on that we're gonna be playing. That you're gonna have to answer some questions about. Some of those people that you listening to. So before we go to break, man, what we're gonna do? Actually, we're gonna go to break. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give the people, a dose of your track, man. We're gonna play Amber Alert. So right now, check this out. My DJ's Radio Spotlight. Your man Shot Bully, Jay Richy. This joint right here is called Amber Alert. Check it out, man. See y'all in a minute.
I'm just trying to give you my last name. I can be your hero, your Bruce Wayne. I can show you just how I do things. Pulling off the lot in a new range. Punchlines in a hard, no Luke Kane. You a whole villain, they just loose change. Like Chris said, let's start a new flame. I'm a big dog like a Great Dane. It'll only hurt a little leg sprain. I promise when you with me, you won't feel pain. Haters gonna hate, we can ignore what they saying. Stunning on the mothers on a 5-star vacation. They can try and rush it, but this greatness takes patience. Like B.A. said, man, I'm always getting faded. I'm just living for the moment, and can nobody ever take it. I've been doing this long like Kobe on the Lakers. I bought you a gift, and I know pink is your favorite. Tell them other boys, assalamu alaikum. I like when you shut them down with no hesitation. Every time you leave, it's like an Amber Alert on faces. Every time you leave, it's like an Amber Alert on faces. I like when you shut them down, no hesitation.
Amber alert, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Richy. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you definitely get that Rebirth mixtape, right? Mixtape. You know what I mean? Definitely call it. Yo, get that mixtape, meaning I'm assuming it's free for the people, right?
Yeah, it's free.
Exactly,
No,
man. So y'all ain't even got to spend no money, no excuses.
That Piff, SoundCloud.
That's what's up, man. So, Rebirth, you know, you mentioned briefly, you know what I mean? Obviously, you know, that you stopped doing music, obviously, and for a minute, and you know you lost the passion for it, and you picked it up again. So I'm assuming, you know what I mean, just from general knowledge that, you know, obviously Rebirth is your way of saying I'm back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's what I have to offer. So why don't you go in depth about what it took to get this project back popping again, you know what I'm saying, and you know, coming off your hiatus, you know what I'm saying, what it was like to actually be putting the project together again.
So this project in particular came about. I just left Arkansas for winter vacation to see my pops, see my grandma, my uncles, seeing all of them. Was just spending time with my cousins and stuff. And my cousin, he's on the mixtape on a couple of tracks. We've always talked about doing music and everything when I first started, and then we never did anything. So this time came, and I'm just like, man, let's do some music, you know, let's work on some music. And he was like, all right, when we come back to Cali, we're going to do some music. If you serious, we're going to see about it. So we come back to Cali, and this was after I did like 2 little EP songs with my boy Augie right here. We did an EP track, and I did another track, and I was just like, I feel it. It's back. I feel it. Like it's back. It's no stopping, no games. I'm fully matured and really grasp my talent. Like I have full control over my passion. And we came back to Cali, and it's funny how you just started this part right here. We came back to Cali, and I hopped on the computer, was just listening to some beats that he had, and then it's the first track on the Rebirth mixtape. And then I was playing, and I was just like, I'm back and better than ever. And I was like, ooh.
Started getting that feeling. I know that magic feeling.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, wait. All right. And then we did that song, and then we finished, and then played it, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do a mixtape. So the mixtape is 14 tracks, and we finished 3 tracks that day. We started this project, the Rebirth project, and I was just like, we're gonna complete this tape, and we're gonna complete another tape, all in a week.
Okay. Word.
So I stayed up literally probably 2 days straight out of that week, and we completed Rebirth and completed half of our second collaboration tape. And the collaboration tape we completed, and we, you know, that's going to be put out hopefully before the summer. But the motivation really came from just hearing that beat, and then how I came off on the beat, and I was just like, oh yeah, you know,
that feeling came back. Yeah.
It's over. But as well as just being around on campus and being in social areas, I'll just start freestyling, and then everybody be like, "Oh, you feel me? You hard, and then from there as well, I was just like, yeah, I might as well just start putting it back on tracks and putting it out there. So
that's what's up, man. Well, it's definitely it's good to hear. Like I said, as far as what's motivating you, man. I try to figure out, what's the motivation behind, because it's a lot of rappers. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of rappers, a lot of hip hop artists out there, and I want to know what's motivating them because what is it? Is it the money? Is it the what they see on TV? You know what I mean? So my next question to you would be, what is your end game? Like, at the end of the day, like let's say, we close the chapter on your rap career, you know what I'm saying? It's time for you to hang up the jersey or the microphone or whatever you want to call it. What do you have hoped to have accomplished by then? Is it Grammys? Is it, respect? Is it to be the greatest, of all time? Like, what is your end game at the end of the day?
I mean, for me, it's not the money. It's far from the money. I look at it the same way as if you're doing what you love, you don't work a day in your life.
Oh, okay. I like that.
So it's music is what I love. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say I'm doing it for the money. I'm not. I ain't got a penny from it yet. I'm not, man. I ain't got a penny from it yet. So it definitely ain't from the money.
Right.
So it's not the money. Grammys and all that. I wouldn't say any of that. For me, it'll just be being able to know that I changed somebody's opinion on something. I opened somebody's mind to doing something that they're scared of doing, and not afraid to pretty much be themselves. Because on Rebirth, that's pretty much what I was expressing. I was showing that it's a different side to everybody has a different side, and some people are scared to show it. And me, how I told you, I'm a huge Pac fan. I'm not, I'm not scared of being myself. I'm not scared of showing my true colors or being true, no matter what. Like when, for example, my favorite color is pink. People try to make colors seem as it's a gender thing.
Yeah,
that's
like emasculate you because of it.
Yeah, like my favorite color is pink, and I feel that it's just that right there means more to me than if I was to get a Grammy, because I would have that Grammy. It's gonna be sitting in my house.
Right, exactly.
I'd rather put out I'd rather put out an album, or I'd rather put out a track that everybody has access to and that everybody will have the same feeling for.
Dope. I like that, man. That's definitely a good mindset to have. You know what I'm saying? Keep that up, brother. We need, you know what I'm saying? We need that. Because I always ask people, man. I ask people all the time, man. If you made minimum wage, man, even though in Cali they done bumped it up to $15, you know what I'm saying? Even that, would you still be doing music if all you can make for the rest of your life was minimum wage? Would you still do it?
Yeah, because because it's something that it's a gift I was given, So, and I don't know about for you, but how I was raised, if you're given a gift from God, that's something that you feel me. He's giving it to you to give to other people.
That's
so if that's all I had was minimum wage, like I said, I ain't get a penny yet. I'm not, I'm not stopping. I don't plan on stopping because of that, but I still do it.
You keep grinding, man. It's gonna come, bro. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna come. Man, everybody got a starting point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, everybody got a starting point, though. But if you keep grinding, see, that's why I like what you said as far as, if you're doing something that you love, you're never working a day in your life. If you keep that mentality, eventually what's gonna happen is you're gonna work so hard that you ain't gonna know. You ain't gonna know that. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna come, boom, money gonna start. You're gonna start getting paid for shows, paid for features. You're gonna be like, wait a minute, I was just, rapping on, listening to YouTube, and now all of a sudden I'm opening up, or people opening up for me. You know what I'm saying? So, keep at it, man. Everybody definitely got to start somewhere, and you seem like you definitely got the right mindset as far as what differentiates you from a lot of other hip hop artists. Is a lot of them are caught up in the the tangible things.
Yeah, like they going. That's. And you can't even look at it in that perspective just with music. That's
Come on, life,
with
yo,
sports.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
with sports,
Sports,
with
everything,
anything, you know.
everything, man.
That's that quick come up.
Exactly. No, I definitely agree, man.
That's how you set your life up for failure.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that's all you want, if that's the only reason why you're doing it, then that's you shouldn't be doing it.
I agree, because you see it. I mean, look at how many people. Just perfect example. I mean, before we get to our games that we're gonna play, the perfect example I always use is look at sports now compared to back then. You got so many people that's holding out. Like you see it every week on SportsCenter. Somebody holding out because of a contract dispute.
Yeah.
You know, over money or
if
you really loved it, you would take the
doing
offer that they're giving you.
That's the reason
man,
why you're doing it. I don't
because
even,
the person that's sitting on the LA Lakers bench right now, the 12th man, whoever that may be. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know who the 12th man is on the Bulls bench, and I'm from Chicago. So whoever that 12th man is on any NBA roster, still making more money than
the person on the court.
You know what I mean? The average fan that's there watching them, most of them, unless you know, one of them high rollers that go every game. But for the most part, they still making more than any, you know, middle class to lower class citizen that's watching the game and that's fans of them. So you should just be appreciating the fact that you're on a professional team. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean. So I always look at that analogy, and I look at, you know, all these contract disputes, and I'm like, man, if I could just get the opportunity to do what I love, you know, y'all could pay me what that man getting paid to sit on the end of the bench, you know what I'm saying, and be able to showcase and do what I love on a larger platform.
I'm not tripping at all.
That's what's up, man. Well, let's get into these games, man. This is one of my favorite parts of the Not DJ's Radio Spotlight, man, because it's cool, and I also get to find out where your mind is musically. The first game, we got two games. All right, the first game I call it Dead or Alive. You know what I'm saying? And then the second game is called Guilty Pleasure. All right? And the first game, Dead or Alive, is only one rule. All right? And the rule is you only can name one person, or you only can name one entity. I'm going to call it an entity because if it's a group, then you're cool with saying a group. If it's, you know, a duet, whatever, it don't have to just be. But you can't be like, you know what I mean, Wu-Tang, and then, you know what I'm saying, this part, you know what I mean, a whole nother, you know what I mean, group. It got to be one entity. It could be from any genre. It doesn't have to be hip-hop. And also, it doesn't have to be a person that's living. Okay, so this person could be dead, you know what I mean, a vegetable. This person could be, you know what I mean, living fully, got all their limbs, whatever the case may be. There's no restrictions on mortality, you know what I'm saying? So, dead, live, whatever. If you were, let's say you stumbled across a hip-hop genie, man. You know what I'm saying? You rub this magic lamp and a genie comes out and he says, Jay Richy, I'm going to give you the opportunity to work with one artist. All right? You know what I mean? Let's say you're on the last record of your album, your debut album coming out. You one song away from completion. You run into this genie. The genie says, Jay Richy, this is your lucky day. You get to work with any artist in the world, dead or alive. We can recreate them from scratch, you know what I'm saying? Or they could be living, you know what I'm saying? Who would that artist be? Who would Jay Richy choose as the artist to complete his album, you know what I mean, and push that product to the world?
Man, I mean that's a no-brainer.
I know it's a no-brainer because of who you mentioned earlier, you know what I'm saying? But I have to ask. I'll
juice it up. I could work with anybody. I'll probably have to say,
Stumpy. I like it.
I'll go with
anybody, any genre. It's hard, ain't it?
So many artists running through my head. I'm just like, anybody. I'll probably say Snoop Dogg, old Snoop Dogg.
Okay, that's funny how you had to say old Snoop Dogg. That's crazy. That's what's up. Okay, so why Snoop? Why the old Snoop in particular?
Because old Snoop is just hard. He just raw.
Touche.
Yeah, when he came out, he was just something else in the rap game. So yeah, I love his old music.
Okay, for sure. And that's close to Pac too. You know what I'm saying? Can't get Pac. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got somebody from Death Row.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Okay, cool. Snoop Dogg and Jay Richy, man. I can definitely hear that. The old Snoop. You know what I mean? So you don't like the sexually rough shit. You don't like that Snoop.
He's hard. I like but yeah, I like the. BLWG.
Right.
Wow, you be yo.
That's what's up, man. Okay, cool. So, before we get out of here, man, let's play, the second game, which is Guilty Pleasure. This game's pretty easy because, you kind of named a couple of them, in the first segment. But let's say, your homies is watching right now, right? All your homies, they watching you and you got to admit something to them right now that you listen to. You know what I'm saying? That nobody else in the world probably know you listen to, and it might be a shame. You know what I'm saying? When you say it, all your homies might be like, "Oh, for real? You listen to?" You know what I'm saying? Who is somebody you listen to? Maybe sing in the shower, or maybe when nobody else around, you put them in the deck, man, and you just rock out with them, man. Who's that?
I'm gonna have to say, Fergie, Big Girls Don't Cry.
Okay. What's up?
I don't know. I always liked that song as a kid.
That's what's up.
I don't know.
No, that's different. I'd have heard the song. You know what I mean? I definitely. You know what I mean? I ain't ashamed. I heard it. Billy heard it. That's what's up, man. Well, it's definitely been a pleasure, bro, having you on, man. So before we. Yeah, for real, man. Before we get out of here, man, obviously, man, the spotlight is still on you. So what I want you to do is take this opportunity to give shout-outs, to anybody that you need to give shout-outs to, man, and then let everybody know where they can find you at, you know what I mean, and if you got anything coming up that you want them to be in tune for, man, just let them know right now, man. This is your time right now.
So first I'm going to have to say shouts out to my boy Augie, shouts out to my girlfriend, shouts out to my mom, my dad, older sister, Irma. Shouts out to all my older sisters, my older brothers, younger brother, younger sister. Shouts out to all the homies, shouts out to my DJ for letting me come in and do this interview.
Dope, man.
Shouts out, all thanks, all glory goes to God, so thankful for that. And shouts out to everybody I rocks with at Cal State, everybody, my first group, Black Division Music Group, Team Cash. Shouts out to everybody. Everybody that's out here. Shouts out.
Let them know where they can find you at, man. All the new listeners that you're going to be, getting with this segment right here, man. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
So, SoundCloud at J Richy of BA, DatPiff, J Richy of BA. Or, either one of those, you can just type in the mixtape name, Rebirth, RIBERTH. Or, YouTube, J Richy, Twitter, J Richy, and Instagram at Mr. Miyagi, MISTERMEEYAGI.
Sure, man.
And, be on the lookout. Got some new stuff coming out.
That's what's up, man. That is definitely what's up, man. Well, like I told you, bro, it's always been a pleasure, man. I love picking the brain, you know what I'm saying, of, inspiring artists, especially my independent artists, because this is the land, this is the time for independent, It wasn't like this 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. You couldn't sit on this couch and actually do a record and then tomorrow put it on iTunes, and be getting money like that, that was, so it's the land of the independent, man. So keep grinding, and although you don't do it for the tangible reasons that a lot of these other guys do it, you definitely it'll come if you put your mind to it. So appreciate you, bro, always, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. This is my DJ's Radio Spotlight. I'm your man, Shot Bully. It's my man, Jay Richy. And make sure you tune in every time we drop them episodes, man. We got a lot of new stuff coming for y'all. Stay tuned. Brand new website, brand new shows, everything. Everything is coming, man. So rock with us. My DJ's Radio. Shout out to everybody behind the scenes, man. Tim, Mario, DJ Swole, everybody that make this happen, man. Geraldine, my boy DJ J Fresh. Everybody that's making this thing, go. Let's keep it going, man. We out of here. My DJ's Radio Spotlight.